You know what would make that better? A cup of white cane coffee.
Wow, that really is great coffee.
White cane coffee, because every cup makes a difference.
It's not just about music lessons. It's about hard work, perseverance, dedication, self-expression, making memories. Let's make memories together.
Good morning and welcome into the cafe as White Cane Coffee presents Coffee and a Conversation. Brian Hagberg with you on your daily local, live here in the White Cane Coffee Cafe, which is open in the plaza across from top. Stop in, get yourself a fresh cup. Got me some Dragon's Roast this morning. Get it in one of these special laser engraved tumblers. Get it filled with your purchase when you bring it back. Get 50% off your refill as part of the White Cane Coffee Mug Club. And while you're here, you can pick up maybe a cinnamon roll or a scone. Breakfast burritos are great as well. Stop in around lunchtime, get yourself a soup and sandwiches now available also at the White Cane Coffee Cafe. If you can't make it down to the cafe, that's not a problem. White Cane is available on DoorDash. Just place your order, have your favorites delivered right to your door. You can also order your favorite roast to brew at home online at whitecanecoffee.com. And it certainly is a little bit chilly out there today, so a good day to talk about the upcoming Winterfest 2024 on February 3rd. And as part of Winterfest, the Salvation Army Polar Plunge has been a longstanding tradition. There is a new twist this year for the Polar Plunge. And here is my colleague, Andy Close, one of three celebrities taking part in the dunk contest as part of the Polar Plunge this year, raising money for the Salvation Army. And Andy, first things first, how'd you get yourself roped into this one, man? Come on.
Well, this was pretty simple, actually. So it was a brief text conversation between John Papalaya from the Chamber, a dear friend. Thank you very much, John. Basically saying, "Hey, would you have any interest in doing the polar bear plunge this year?" And I said, "Yeah, you could probably rope me into it." And that was pretty much it. And that's not really a whole lot went into it. I know I've kind of been. He's been kind of teasing me for a few years now about wanting to do it, and so I thought, why not now? And I just hope it's a little warmer than it is when I got up, about 4 degrees when I got up this morning. So hopefully a little warmer than that, but hopefully still cold enough, for everything to go on without a hitch for Winterfest, because it's such an awesome event every year.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was kind of ironic. We did our year in review a few weeks ago right here on this program. And one of the things you mentioned about you look forward to covering Winterfest every year, one of your favorite events. And now we're probably going to have to tag team that one, because unless you're wearing the GoPro, going to be a little difficult to cover while you're underwater.
Well, yeah, you're more than welcome to come and take some video of me being a glutton for punishment. But no, seriously, I've watched it kind of year after year, and I'm thinking, how crazy are these people? Now I'm one of those crazy people. So no, definitely happy. It's all for a wonderful cause, and it looks cold, but also looks like a lot of fun. I think it's definitely one of those. I don't know if I'd call it a bucket list type item, but something, like, oh, I've always kind of wanted to try that. And so now I get that opportunity. And again, looking forward to it, looking forward, not just the plunge, but Winterfest as a whole. And it's such a great event, and happy to be a part of it.
Well, and again, it's not just you. You are one of three, along with Warren City Mayor Dave Wortman, Chapman State Park Manager Cody Miller, also taking part in this contest. And again, part of the impetus behind this is to raise money for the Salvation Army. And so when people donate, especially if they donate by check, they gotta write your name in the memo line. So explain a little bit about how if somebody wants to make sure you get a little wet, Chris, excuse me, but what's the process they have to go through to make sure that their donation not only goes to the Salvation Army, but make sure you take a little plunge as well?
Yeah, so I have this actually. So don't mind me. I'm gonna look down for a second, make sure I have this information all correct. 'Cause I want to make sure it's out there. So basically, if you would like to make a donation, you can uh, make a payment. You can drop it off at the chamber office at 308 Market Street, or you can mail it to them, cash or check. They'll take either. If you do pay check, like you said, you must put the celebrity, we use that term as well, Mayor Wortman, maybe not Cody, but myself certainly very loosely, but put whoever you're sponsoring or donating to in the memo line for the donation. And I understand there's some sort of special trophy for whoever gets the most donation money, but no, and again, if you talk to Savannah or John or Jim at the chamber, they'd be happy to help you. But you can stop by and give them money, like I said, cash or check, or you can mail it to them as well. Still plenty of time to do that. So pretty straightforward process for anyone that might want to donate to one of the celebrity plungers. Just donate in general. Again, it's for such a good cause. The Salvation Army does so many wonderful things in our community throughout the year, and just such a champion for community service and giving back. So any little bit, even if it's just a little bit, goes a long way in the community.
So you mentioned having covered this for a number of years and kind of thinking to yourself how crazy these people have to be. Are you now going back through those memories in your mind and looking for some strategies or some different ways to prepare yourself? How are you preparing to take this plunge here coming up on February 3rd?
No, I actually have talked to a couple of people who have done it, and for me personally, I don't know how others are going to approach it that might be doing it for the first time, but for me personally, I think there's only one way you can do it. You remember when you were like a kid and you were, if you're getting in a cold pool of water and you just jump in. I don't think you can, it's something you can really, kind of just tiptoe into. You just kind of got to do it. You got to go for it. And I do remember from past experience, I think it was 2 years ago, standing there in my winter coat, it being about 14 degrees and just thinking, man, this is the last thing in the world I want to be doing. But no, I think it's just one of those things where, I've seen people go in, swimsuit style. Seen people go in, wearing the bodysuits. So I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do yet as far as that goes, but I think it's one of those things you just kind of have to go for it. And I really don't think there's any other way around it because let's face it, it's going to be cold but the staff does a great job there making sure everyone's safe. And that's the other thing too. It's not like it's unsafe or anything. It's just it's a fun thing and it's something that a lot of people have done over the years, and just from talking to people that have done it, it's just some have done it again. Some say are one and done. I don't know what I'll be. I might be one and done. I might do it and I'll do it again next year. But no, we'll see. But as for my personal strategy, long story short, I'm just gonna go right in.
So are you in preparation for the attire? I mean, are we gonna see you come out full on Scuba Steve? Are you gonna go just straight trunks? You gotta get those little the kerosene bazooka heaters ready for you when you come out. What preparations are you making?
Yeah, no, I don't think I'm gonna go full Scuba Steve. Scuba Steve's a good man. The Big Daddy reference, but no, I think I'm probably just a traditional trunks kind of guy. So that's probably what you'll see me doing. And again, just talking to people that have done it and watching people that have done it. It's some people go that route. Some people go the route of the scuba suit. But no scuba suit for me. I'm gonna be more of a trunks guy, and that's just kind of how I'm approaching it.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned the safety aspect of it. Obviously this is something that's been going on for a number of years. They really kind of got that the safety part of it figured out. But explain a little bit for maybe people who aren't familiar, some of those precautions that they put in place to make sure nobody gets hurt doing this.
Yeah, and again, they're the staff on hand, they do such a great job. There are plenty of warm blankets and heaters and things of that nature, and it's one of those things you got to be prepared for, obviously. I mean, your body's able to withstand that cold, not for a long period of time, but but obviously they wouldn't do it if it was unsafe. But again, there are heaters on hand. They have plenty of those like heavy duty type blankets. I see them wrap around people after they're done. I'm like, that's one of the things I kind of thought to myself. That's kind of cool. I'm like, that's got to feel good. After jumping into water like that.
Right.
And I guess, and not to deviate from the safety aspect of it, I guess I do have some experience. I'm not a polar plunge. I remember when I was in college, and we did spring break, and we were down in South Carolina, and the water wasn't nearly as cold, but it was. I remember it was unseasonably cold. Out. It was like 35, 40 degrees. And me being from northwestern Pennsylvania, and as saw the ocean, like, oh, I want to jump in the ocean no matter what. And so I did. The water obviously not nearly as cold as it's going to be for the polar plunge, but it was very cold. Probably the coldest water I've jumped into this point in my life. Even living around here in the dam and such. But I was in there for about 5 minutes, and I got out. I went and jumped in the hot shower for like an hour. So I'm sure that's exactly what I feel like doing for this, because like I said, it's going to be a lot colder than that. But yeah, the staff does such a great job making sure, not only that you're comfortable doing it, but that they're going to take care of you, when you get out of the water too. So, and they're standing by at the ready with all that necessary equipment, the blankets, the heaters, to make sure you're in good shape.
And there are first responders in that. It's presuming there's going to be ice on the lake there, but and right out on the ice, right at kind of the hole, they basically chip a hole in the ice.
Yep.
Or a designated area, and they're ready to go in case somebody does run into trouble too as well.
They are, absolutely, and I haven't seen any issues in my time that I've been going to Winterfest, but they are at the ready, that they're prepared for that sort of thing. Again, it's a very structured event. But I think, and something I've seen a lot of kids do as well. I think that kind of gives, parents who might be a little apprehensive about having the kids do it, gives them it puts them at ease a little bit, knowing that there are people there at the ready should a situation arise. Like I said, I've never seen one, in the years I've been going to Winterfest, but rest assured, first responders are there and ready should any kind of situation arise. So it's 100%. They're prepared, and it's totally safe.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about Winterfest in general and what people can look forward to when they head up to Chapman State Park on February 3rd. This is Coffee and a Conversation, presented by White King Coffee.
The only thing worse than being stuck at home is being stuck at home without coffee. We can't let that happen. Browse our selection and order online. From sweet to tangy, hot or iced, we have something for you. White King Coffee, because every cup makes a difference. Cheers.
Welcome back into the cafe as White King Coffee presents Coffee and a Conversation. Brian Hagberg with you on your daily local. My colleague Andy Close, our guest this week. We are talking, we've been talking Polar Plunge up at Winterfest, but lots of other things going on up at Chapman State Park on February 3rd, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Head on out to Winterfest 2024. Always one of those annual events that a lot of people really look forward to, Andy, including yourself. Again, you mentioned a couple of weeks ago on our year-end wrap-up that this is one of your favorite events to cover. And outside of the Polar Plunge, what events up at Winterfest do you most look forward to when you head out there to cover the event?
I think one thing they introduced last year is kind of the canoe races, and I thought that was coming down the sledding hill.
Yeah.
And I wasn't, and even talking with John, we wasn't sure how that was going to go over. But that was such a hit, and that was another thing where I just kind of watched it last year. I'm like, man, that looks like a lot of fun, other than like walking back up the hill, which is. But I'm like, man, that looks like so much fun. And I know one of the other things too. Is knowing Andy Georgiakis, of course, he's huge in the mountain biking community around here. Kind of the Fat Tire mountain bike ride that they do, and I'm like, and I was kind of asking a few years ago when they first introduced it, I'm like, well, how does it work? And basically they get the fat tires on the bikes, and they go around and ride the trails through the snow. And I thought, man, that looks like so much fun. And I know, just whether you're a mountain biking enthusiast or even a novice, I think that's something that you can enjoy as well. Oh, and apart from that, there's just so much going on. They have, horse-drawn carriage rides, the sled dog demonstrations, just the activities they have for kids. But again, I think the biking portion of it was a big hit when they got introduced, and that's the thing. I guess too, you've seen them introduce, something new. It seems almost every year from the canoe races to the mountain biking. And I think they're always looking for fresh ideas. And not everything, is going to be a hit. Some things you try out, you like. Some things, they try out. Oh, this might not work. We might not do this next year. But I think the last couple of years they've kind of, hit bullseyes just in terms of introducing new things to do and just, for kids, for families. There's so many, there are games there. There's so many things to keep kids engaged. Mom and dad, want to watch something that maybe the kids aren't interested in. There are plenty of games and educational activities and other things, available. Just so much going on for people to go out to Chapman and really enjoy. I think that's one of the great things about Winterfest is people think of Chapman as like a summertime destination for things, but there's such a great host for a Winterfest because they have so many different things going on. They're equipped to handle all of it. So
Yeah.
I guess long story short, there's not one thing in particular that I enjoy the most, but and I enjoy too just getting a cup of hot chocolate or coffee or whatever, just walking around and seeing what all there is to see. So I think so I'll turn it to you, I guess. I don't really have one thing in particular that's favorite. I just enjoy the scenery and the kind of the pageantry of it all.
Interesting. You mentioned the kayak sledding that they introduced last year, and I had a chance prior to Winterfest to go out with John and Savannah and the staff at Chapman as they kind of tested out how that would work. And so it was interesting to see, kind of what they had to do to get those to work in the way that they did. And then once they figured out how to really get, initially the kayaks didn't want to go down. They tried to start at the top, and the kayaks just didn't want to go. And so then they kind of went down more towards the middle and they went a little bit more. And as they created more tracks, they were able to go higher and higher up the hill. And eventually you could go at the top and go all the way down because the snow at that point it hadn't been packed down. Nobody had used it yet. And so once they got that snowpack down, then it was, okay, now they got to figure out how to steer these things as they're going down the hill and just watching and, looking at it, it was like, okay, this is, either going to be fantastic and the next big thing that everybody wants to do, or, or somebody's going to end up in the lake because they were starting to go pretty fast down the hill. But again, it was one of those things that worked out well. It seemed like it was very popular. I know you also mentioned, like the horse-drawn carriage rides. They're doing the cardboard
Yes.
building, and those were some things. Talking with John Papalea not long ago, that they wanted to introduce some things that could be done regardless of weather. There's been some times where it's been a couple days before Winterfest and there's been little or no snow, and obviously there was a couple years ago where they had to put the tent back up because there was so much snow that it collapsed the tent. But so they wanted to have options that were available regardless of the amount of snow or what kind of weather was going on. And so I think, with an eye on that kind of thing, the creativity now that they're coming up with some of these events really lends itself to an even wider audience.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, I think that was kind of the goal of introducing, some new things every year is to kind of broaden the audience and make it something that everyone, adults, young adults, older adults, kids, can enjoy, to make it really a truly family. I think family friendly is kind of cliche, but they're just family inclusive type of events. And like we talked about, there really is something there for someone of all ages. Some of the kids things they do, not just kids thing, they do a trivia thing, they do a winter birding demonstration, they do an ice fishing demonstration. So just so many things going on. And again, it's kind of all, throughout the park. You're not just limited to one area of the park. You can go to one area, check out something, go to a different area, check out something else. I think that's part of the fun of it too. It can be, and it's one of those things too. If you want to stop by for just like an hour, to do something specific, you can do that. I know people that spend their whole afternoon there, and you can kind of come and go as you please. I think that's part of the beauty of it too. It's not just set up that you have to arrive at a certain time or leave at a certain time. People can kind of come and go throughout the day and really enjoy everything they have to offer.
No. And you mentioned, it obviously goes from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So it's a full day event. The Polar Plunge, if that's what you're looking forward to, that starts at 2, if I'm not mistaken. There are some scheduled things, but a lot of this stuff it's really just, it's there for people whenever they arrive. They can choose to, if you want to wait for the next horse-drawn carriage ride, or you want to, go sledding or things like that. The tents are always available. You mentioned just grabbing a cup of hot chocolate if that's what you want to do and walk around. That's certainly available too. And so it really does lend itself to anyone at any time, really, throughout the day. And I think that's one of those things. And I know they used to, for a while, was a 2-day event. I think cutting it down to a single day helps as well.
Yeah, I think it does too. You can kind of not condense everything, but really pack, and you can pack a lot into that one day. I think they found out when it was 2 days, but it's Saturday, was the day anyway where people kind of show up. And I know attendance last year was very, very good, and so I think making that move, to your point, made a lot of sense. And like I said, they pack a lot, as we've talked about, into those 7 hours. And again, I think one of the things, you can kind of come and go. Some people stay all day. Some people love winter, love the outdoors. They get there right when it starts, and they're right till it closes. But again, you can kind of come and enjoy what you want to enjoy, and just kind of go from there. And for me personally, like we just talked about, there are a lot of things I enjoy, so I'll probably be there a while. But again, I think the emphasis here, what we keep coming back to, is there's something for everyone, and that's the beauty of it.
So you're gonna get there plenty early then. So by the time you get in that water, it's all right. I've seen everything. I'm ready to go. Right?
Oh yeah. I'll be ready. I'll get there well before. Get there. Make sure. I've seen what I want to see, and I don't know. I can't guarantee how much I want to stick around afterwards, but yeah, I definitely plan on getting there and enjoying it before I go over and do the plunge.
Well, and again, this is, we mentioned the chamber staff, of course, they put a ton of effort and energy into this. But, we would be remiss if we didn't mention all the, the staff out at Chapman State Park as well. And Cody Miller, the manager there, who's going to take part in this celebrity dunk contest. They do a great job getting the park ready to host this event, making sure everything's where it needs to be, and kind of advising and guiding. And, hey, there's, maybe the ice isn't thick enough to do ice fishing, or, we need a little bit more snow, or, whatever the case may be. But those folks do a fantastic job as well.
Yeah, I'm happy you mentioned that too. I think people go and they see, it's a fun-filled day, but it's something that a lot of people maybe don't realize the preparation that goes into hosting an event like this. And Cody and the staff at Chapman, they do such a wonderful job. And again, not just at Winterfest, but all year round. It's such a beautiful park, so well equipped for hosting an event like this. And again, there is work. There is a lot of prep work that goes into it, and they do a wonderful job. And we're lucky to have Chapman State Park here in Warren County, because it's a gem. It truly is. Yeah,
it absolutely is a great great facility out there. It's a great park. I know my kids love it. We take them out there in the summer. They love going, just hang out on the beach and play in the water.
Yeah.
And then we go out. That's where we kayak primarily, as opposed to trying to go down the creek or the river. Just because our kids are so young still, they're still learning. It's just a less current and conditional things like that. But, we throw the kayaks in and paddle around and they love it. And, I think a lot of people sometimes forget just what great resources we have here, especially for outdoor recreation. Chapman State Park is a prime example of that. Everyone knows, trails at Jake's Rocks and Kinzu and things like that. But I think sometimes Chapman gets a little overlooked. And so this is a great way for them to kind of show off what they have available as well.
It really is, and I remember going as a kid, and it's a place I've been going for a long time. To get to your point, there's so much to do. Like you said, you have young kids, and to get them out in the water in kind of a calm setting like that's really kind of ideal. There's so much to do. Whether you want to do that, whether you just want to swim, whether you want to go for a hike, you have people that camp out there, and just whether you're going to fish or do whatever. It's just, and it's so well maintained, so well taken care of. And I think, again, I think that speaks to not just Winterfest as a whole, but a park as a whole. Yeah. Really, you have things, for people kind of all ages to enjoy. I know, like if people just want to go for a walk, just drive down, want to go for a walk and just enjoy the scenery. So you can do that as well. And we can't really give them enough credit for all that they do. And it really is. I can't think of a better way to put it. It's just a gem here in Warren County. We're such an outdoor community, and it's really truly one of the great outdoor destinations that we have.
Yeah, and so with that, I think before we get out of here, I know you got to make a lengthy trek today to cover a basketball game down in DuBois. But before we let you go here, we should probably reiterate to people, let people know again how they can donate to our celebrity dunk contest. Proceeds benefit the Salvation Army. And Andy, if they want to make sure that you jump in there and get a little wet, how do they do that?
Yeah. So again, it's really easy. Just contact the chamber. You can either stop in or you can mail a cash or check. Don't forget, if you're writing a check and you want to support one of the celebrity plungers, put their name in the memo. And that's it. It's pretty straightforward. Still plenty of time to do that. But again, they do stress cash or check only, no cards. But you can do either. Again, you can stop in and talk to anyone down there and make your donation, or you can if you can't get down there, you maybe don't live close enough to certainly mail it 308 Market Street, Warren, PA 16365. And it's all for a great cause, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And again, the Salvation Army, can't say enough about what they do as well. That's where these proceeds are going to. They do so many awesome things in the community. So please, if you can, we'd love the support.
Yeah. And so, Andy, you'll be joined along with Warren Mayor Dave Wortman, Chapman State Park Manager Cody Miller, as our three local celebrities taking part in this dunk contest. Again, all proceeds for the Salvation Army, great cause. And with that, Andy, I think we'll let you get out of here. Thanks so much for stepping in and letting us know all about this celebrity dunk contest that's going on. And I'm certainly looking forward to February 3rd, Chapman State Park Winterfest 2024. It'll be my chance to get out there and cover Winterfest a little bit now that you're going to be taking part in the festivities.
Yep. Again, looking forward to Polar Plunge, looking forward to participating and being part of it. Just looking forward to Winterfest as a whole too. Again, as we've talked about, such an awesome event, and it's going to be here quickly before you know it. Yep. Come out, have fun, come watch us take the plunge, and come enjoy everything that Winterfest and Chapman have to offer.
Sounds good, Andy. Thanks so much. That'll wrap it up for Coffee and a Conversation this week. Stay tuned. Tune in every Saturday morning, 9:30 a.m. as White King Coffee presents Coffee and a Conversation. For Andy Close, this is Brian Hagberg saying thank you so much for watching and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Know what would make that better? A cup of White King coffee.
Wow, that really is great coffee.
White Cane Coffee, because every cup makes a difference.
It's not just about music lessons. It's about hard work, perseverance, dedication, self-expression, making memories. Let's make memories together.